There is so many stats in your gear, which one is best for you? Based on your martial art, if you are using Bell Strike, Bamboo Cut and Silk Die, which one work best for you? And you probably already know the max physical attacks, affinity, critical rate, those are very good stats, but do you really need them for all your gear? So today, I will show you the best gear stat framework model that work for every martial art, and I will show you the best priority stat and the best pairing pattern for offensive gear tier and also for your defensive gear. So let's go. So here's the best stat for all build. So for the S tier, which is the best tier, the best tier is start with the max physical attack and power. This two is the best possible stat that you want to get for all tier. And then for tier A, you have precision rate, critical rate, and also your affinity rate. So these are the tier A, which is also a very good stat. And the tier B, you have agility, momentums, and each martial art attack bonus. So these are the tier B. This is okay, this is very decent, but also quite good. And for stat that other than this, it is okay to get also, but it doesn't boost much to your characters. So you want to get the tier as best you can, or get the tier A, and then get the tier B. So these are the stats that you want to target for your tunings. And but for martial arts specific, you want to look into more detail. I have this table for you. You can look at, let's say, if you are using Bell Strike, you can refer to this start priority. It starts with the highest priority to the lowest priority. I will explain in the end of this video. So let's continue. And before that, do you know you can get 2 S tier stat in a single one-piece gear? One-piece gear with 2 S stat. So this happens to your left offensive gear quadrant, which is your 2 weapons and also 2 pendants. So you can have 2 maximum critical attack which appear 2 times in 1 weapons in a single gear piece. So this should be your S tier gear set. And also for your right quadrant defense set piece, the bottom 2, which is your growers and left piece, you can appear power 2 times. Power is a S tier stat. You can appear 2 power in 1 single gear piece. So this is also the best gear you want to get in your tunings. So the framework model is start with this one. So first is the initial start. This one initial start is where you get it. It come along with the weapons. Where you obtain the weapons, it bind to your weapons. So this is the initial start. The first start you get in your weapons. So and then you have 4 tuning start slot, which you get from your tunings. So you have 1 initial start and 4 tuning start, which make out of 5 start statistic slot. So which pattern of this tuning is best efficient, I will show you now. So for the left offensive gear piece, the first 4 pieces you always want to start with max physical attacks. You always want to start with max physical attack in your initial start. So all the 4 gear pieces, you want to get the initial start as your max physical attack. If you don't get this at the first initial start, just delete the weapons, just throw the weapon away. So you want to always start tuning with only the initial start is max physical attacks. So this is very important. Then for the 4 tuning start, you can get at least 1 martial art attack bonus. Let's say Bamboo Cut if you are using twin blade, or Bell Strike if you are using sword, you want to get 1 sort of these martial arts bonus attacks. Then you also want to get 1 slot of max physical attacks. Then for the other 2 slots of the start, you can get any of them as long as it is DPS. That's okay. Either it's tier A or either in the tier B. So for the right quadrants, the top 2 piece, which is your helmets and your armor piece, the initial start can give you precision rate, critical rate, and also your affinity rate. So you want to always get this as your initial start. So the model start this way for the helmets and also your gear piece. The initial start, you always want to get precisions, critical rate, and affinity. Other than this initial start, just delete the item, throw the item away, don't start tunings. So get this initial start first before you start your tunings. Then for your tuning start 4 slots, so you must get at least 1 max physical attack in your tuning slot and 1 power slot, and 2 slots can be any others in the tier A and also tier B. Then for the defense piece, lower 2, which is your lowest and your left piece. So in this quadrant, the best initial start is your power. you always want to get power first before you start tunings. So for the other tuning stat, you can get one more power also, then get one maximum physical attacks, and other two can be either tier A or tier B also. Then for your bow and necklace, it actually doesn't matter because it doesn't boost your DPS, it only gives you some shooting bonus and all this, which is not very important. Then for additional tips, tune one stat at one time, don't tune everything together. So make sure you use the gold guaranteed, the legendary guaranteed stat material for your tunings. If you get more than 2 fail stat, don't continue tuning, just throw the item away and use the next piece. So the fail stat is defined as the wrong martial arts stat. For example, if you are using Twin Blade, you don't want to get a shield bind. If you are using Umbrella, you don't want to get the belt strike. So you tune the stat one by one. If you get 2 of these fail stats, just throw the item away, don't continue tunings. Then when the new season starts, don't rush to tune the new gear. Wait for the good stat while you are using your old gear. So it is okay to use your old gear piece as long as you maintain your stat for your martial art to be functional. For example, if you are using Belt Strike, you don't want the affinity to drop below 39%. So don't rush to tune the gear, wait for the best gear piece by using your old gear. So slowly tune and replace the gear piece. Use a failed tuning gear to put into your arsenal first while you slowly get your good gear to replace the current, to replace the old gear. Then lastly, getting S tier stat is very difficult. For all gear, it is almost impossible for casual players like me. If you are casual players, you don't have to worry. So if you don't get the S tier stat, that's okay. So it's just based on these 2 rules. So first is that you must get the correct initial stat before you start tuning. For your 4 offensive weapons, you should always start tuning with your max physical attack as your initial stat. Then for the defensive gear, you want to get the initial stat like power, affinity rate, critical rate, and precisions. So if you don't use your tunings. Let's say if you start the tunings, you already get 2 fail stat. If you want to continue, don't use your guaranteed gold material. Just tune normally. If you get purple color, just throw away. So that's okay also how you save the material. So here's the table that I showed you just now. So this is the best priority stat for every build. It starts with the Belt Strike Umbrella. So this one for the Belt Strike Umbrella, your best priority is start with the max physical attacks. This is the best stat you need to get. Then second is your affinity, critical rate, precisions, momentums, and also the power. So this is the best part that for this build. So that's all for the videos. Hope this helped you a little bit. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.